Okay, let's start with a short ha'ara idea from Moshe Feinstein. Something perhaps obvious, but as always, sometimes those are that which you could speak out. Metzorah is almost a continuation of Tazria. We're talking about Saras. We're talking about Lashon Hara, and particularly the pasuk talks about Kisava Yaleretz Kanam and Asati Neged Saras Vizach Eretz Chuzaschem. What's going to happen is going to be a nega in your house, and you're going to go and you're going to break down the walls of your house, and what are you going to find? Lo and behold, an incredible treasure. Rashi points it out that the Goyim are going to hide in the walls of your house, Zahav, etc. And it's going to be a good thing for you. You think it's horrible. You think you find some evil splotch on the wall of your house. And at the end of the day, it's Saras because you did an Avera, you got to knock down the house, and lo and behold, a pot of gold. Answer Moshe Feinstein, perhaps the obvious kasha. He wonders. What's the punishment? You knocked in your house and you find $1 million in the wall. Punishment. This is the biggest brach in the world. Well, what's the einish? Answer Moshe the kasha. So, firstly, before a Moshe, just the thought that hit my head is an idea that Chazal speak about, that which you invest personally in, you want more sometimes. It's Gemaras that talk about this, more than even something that's more valuable. That which you put your blood, sweat, your tears, your house. Your house. I understand, when we use extreme terms, you found $1 million, everyone says, okay, take my house. Although $1 million nowadays is not so chashuv for a house. You find $5 million, okay? So anyone will say, okay, take my house. But the Maisa, there's something that it's your house. So there is an einish there. There is a punishment there that your personal house, you lost. But says Ramosha, really, we have to understand the depth of what's happening over here. Explains Dal Kapanim, even though, yes, you got a treasure. However, if you really were fitting such a treasure, did God have to knock down your house to give it to you? If you were really befitting such a treasure, Hashem could have just made the gold appear on your front step. Hashem has an unlimited amount of ways for you to get what you needed to do. So from the fact that you got it through a tsar, through a problem, that shows you that you also must have done something wrong. And therefore what? What's the therefore? And the therefore, I think, is something that sometimes in our goodness to jump and see the good in things, which is a beautiful midah, an incredible midah. How many times do we hear, oh yeah, this happened, but it ended up, which is incredible. And that's the ayin taiva that we spoke about last week. And we should continue always looking for the good. But we have to realize, this guy's house was lost. There was a problem. So when it could get into a terrible crash, insurance paid me 4 times the amount, and look at that. I made off on top. He walks away happy. No, you crashed your car. It came through the avenue, the vehicle literally, of something negative, says Ramosha. We cannot forget that the fact that it had to come in such a mannerism. And I just think it's important to realize, and I know it's a high level, because we always mention have an ayin taiva, we mention try to see the good, and we mention try to see how Hashem is talking to you and living your life, that God is holding your hands, and this is all Emunah and Bitachon 101, and realizing that yes, even laden within the bad, hidden there's some good 100%, but says Ramosha, we could go even one step deeper. Says Ramosha, we could realize, but how did it come to us? It came to us through a negativity. Hashem is talking to us there as well. Don't miss that lesson. Why not? So this is the important part. Because if you miss that lesson, God forbid, Hashem's going to find another way to talk to you. And it'll be a little bit louder this time. This guy who had his house knocked down because he had saras and he found the treasure. So obviously in the grand scheme, he had to lose his house, but he needed to have a windfall. Wonderful. Let's say he totally misses the boat. He forgets the Lashon Hara, he forgets the whole thing, and he's just so happy that he got the cash. So Hashem's going to say, you didn't hear me? Okay, I'll talk a little bit louder. I'll make sure you hear me. So we shouldn't miss the boat. Literally, a very, very important, obvious, simple, deep, but yet something that we have to